Alpine has been rocky lately, especially with Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly. Spanish F1 journalist Pedro Fermin dropped a bombshell speculating that their future with the team might be jeopardized. It seems like we're in for another turbulent year ahead. So let's dive into this video today to know what's going on behind the scenes and why Gasly and Ocon are considering leaving Alpine. Alpine's team has been facing many problems lately, which have caused chaos and affected their performance. Two important drivers, Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, are thinking about leaving because they're not happy with how things are going. In the 2023 season, Alpine didn't do very well, only scoring points in 12 out of 22 races. There have been big changes and disappointments at Alpine recently. The CEO Laurent Rossi left, and the team boss, Otmar Szafnauer, and sporting director Alain Permain were fired. This shows that there's a lot of instability within the team. Because of these problems, the drivers haven't been feeling very good, and the team only finished in 6th place in the Constructors' Championship. The 2023 season was tough for Alpine. They started okay with 2 points in Bahrain and then got 6 points in Saudi Arabia, but things went downhill when they didn't score in Australia and Azerbaijan. They did better in Miami, scoring 6 points, and had a great race in Monaco, earning 21 points. However, their performance was inconsistent all season. They didn't score points in Great Britain, Italy and Abu Dhabi races, which showed they struggled compared to other teams. Because of these challenges, Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, French drivers who seem to have lost confidence in the team's plans, are thinking about what to do next. A Spanish F1 journalist, Pedro Fermin, says they've started talking to their agents about finding opportunities with other teams. The two Alpine drivers have the clear intention of leaving the team at the end of this year, he said. Both Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly do not want to continue suffering in Alpine and have given their representatives and managers carte blanche to start conversations with any team that wants to listen to them. Neither Gasly nor Ocon have confidence in the possibilities of the team, which is drifting. Both riders have expressed their will not to continue to be part of this Titanic, which is Alpine currently. So, where can Ocon and Gasly go? Further, the situation at Alpine has made people wonder where Ocon and Gasly might go next. The big teams might not be an option, and other strong teams like McLaren and Aston Martin might not work out either. With no good results coming in, Gasly and Ocon are thinking seriously about leaving, so the big question about where they could go is still unanswered. According to Fermin, Ocon is a top pick for Audi when they take over the stake F1 team in 2026. But we'll have to wait and see if that's true. Many drivers have been linked to Audi recently. Sainz has been mentioned more than once as a top choice, and Nico Hülkenberg and Valtteri Bottas have been mentioned a lot in the list. But whatever it is, one thing is confirmed. The two drivers, Ocon and Gasly, are reportedly unhappy and want to leave Alpine. They've already told their agents to look for opportunities with other teams. Both Ocon and Gasly's contracts end after next season, so neither Frenchman seems interested in staying longer. Also, Alpine had a tough time last year, finishing 6th in the Constructors' Championship. Not only that, there was a lot of trouble inside the team too. CEO Laurent Rossi left, team boss Otmar Szafnauer was fired during the season, and sporting director Alain Permain also left. Plus, there were big arguments between the factories in the UK and France. Let's talk about the previous terminations now. At the Belgian Grand Prix, James Vowles, the new boss at Williams, revealed that Pat Fry, Alpine's chief technical officer, would be joining Williams in the same role. Vowles mentioned that Alpine seemed to be going through a tough time, and Fry's decision to move to Williams was made many months ago. "I'm not inside, but they're clearly in a lot of pain and trouble and going through a conversion phase," said Vowles, speaking as an observer. "I can say that Pat is not part of that change they're going through. Pat's decision was made many months ago." Also, Vowles initiated discussions with Fry in January after taking on the job at Williams, and Fry agreed to join in April. He stated that Fry had his reasons for wanting to stay with Alpine, but eventually saw Williams' vision and goals and decided to come aboard. He understandably had a journey with Alpine that he wanted to continue, but actually by April, he could see the vision as to why I had joined Williams and was very much in line and on board with that, said Vowles. He also noted that Alpine appeared to be undergoing some significant changes, but Fry's move to Williams wasn't directly related to those changes. He expressed his belief that Fry's decision to join Williams was aligned with the team's vision and direction. Not only that, Zafnauer, Fry and Permin were all heavy hitters shown the door at Alpine. On the same day Fry was announced by Williams, Alpine issued a statement saying that team boss Otmar Zafnauer and sporting director Alain Permin were leaving. Following a reorganization on July 20th, there were changes in Alpine's leadership. CEO Laurent Rossi was moved to special projects, and Philippe Krief took over as the new leader, while Bruno Famin was given the responsibility for motorsport activities. Team principal Otmar Zafnauer expressed confidence in receiving support from Renault head Luca De Meo, indicating that the team was operating according to a long-term 100-race plan. Moreover, Rossi took over as principal in January 2021, succeeding Cyril Abiteboul, making him the fourth team boss in just over 2.5 years at Alpine. Stability is highly valued in Formula One, but leadership changes can disrupt a team's performance. Similarly, Williams has also experienced leadership changes since 2020 when the founding family sold the team. They are currently in 7th place in the championship, with Alpine in 6th place. On the other hand, Red Bull, the reigning champions, have enjoyed stability. Christian Horner has served as team principal since 2005, making him the longest-serving boss in the sport. Their recent success streak includes winning 21 of the last 22 races and 12 consecutive victories. From the media side, Zafnauer and Permin's departures were unexpected. Perhaps the recent changes at Alpine, particularly the departure of the long-serving stalwart, are significant developments at the team's top level. The timing of the announcement seemed a bit unusual, especially considering that it could have been more sensible to announce it after the Belgian Grand Prix weekend. However, they might have been compelled to make the announcement sooner if there were indications that reporters in France were catching wind of the imminent changes. As the dust settles on this episode, attention turns to Phase 2 of Alpine's transformation. The transition from the renowned Renault team to Alpine hasn't been smooth sailing, despite having a competitive car since the new regulations were introduced last year. It will be interesting to see how the team navigates through this phase and whether they can overcome their current challenges. Despite the changes, Alpine's performance hasn't seen much improvement. Their operations have faced challenges and, ironically, during the same weekend when these issues surfaced, Alpine's former rookie driver Oscar Piastri has been achieving remarkable results at McLaren. Piastri qualified second for today's sprint race, trailing behind Red Bull's Max Verstappen by just 1/100th of a second. This impressive performance contrasts Alpine's struggles and McLaren's success under Piastri's watch. McLaren's gain from Alpine's loss is evident, and it's possible that with experienced figures like Mark Webber in their corner, McLaren anticipated this outcome. This foresight likely played a role in their decision to make the move that surprised many in the paddock at the time. Future of Alpine. And now when we talk about the current dynamics, the team is spending a lot on new stuff like a new simulator building to help them make better cars for 2026. They're also improving other tools in their factory. Harmon, who works for the team, thinks these changes will help them in the short term. He said, "We're focusing on the future and making cars for 2026. We're also improving our factories to make them better." The team has been planning these changes for 3 years and is now speeding things up. They have enough money and people to do it. Harmon thinks the new simulator will be a big help. It will be ready for the 2026 season. He's excited about it because it will make their cars better. However, the team has sometimes struggled to fix problems quickly. Harmon believes they're improving though. They're using better tools and making more careful decisions. He also admits that they've made mistakes because they didn't have enough information. But now, with better tools, they're improving. Looking ahead, it will be interesting to see what unfolds in the coming months and how these developments shape future headlines in the world of Formula One. So what do you think of the crisis looming over Alpine? Comment below and subscribe for more.